Lesson 6, Canto 3, Part 2. Welcome to Part 2 of the third canto. In Part 1 we summarised chapters 1 to 19, and here we will summarise chapters 20 to 33. The opening verse for Canto 20 is, Sri Sunaka inquired, O Sutta Goswami, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, what did Svavambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? This section of the third canto introduces the wonderful talk that Kapila delivered to his mother Devahuti, explaining Sankhya Yoga, Astanga Yoga practice, pure devotional service, and Sankirtan Yajna. He also explained life in the womb for the living entity. We begin now with a summary of chapter 20. Empowered by the Lord in the heart, Brahma creates the demigods, Rakshasas, Apsaras, Gandharvas, ghosts, and Manus. Chapter 21. Lord Brahma requests Kadamba Muni to increase the population of the universe. After performing austerities for 10,000 years, Kadamba Muni gets the darshan of Lord Narayan and prays for the benediction of a wife. Chapter 22. Svavambhuva Manu, the emperor of the universe, presents his daughter Devahuti to Kadamba Muni. Kadamba accepts her as his wife on the condition that he may leave home as soon as a male is born. Chapter 23. After faithfully serving Kadamba for years, Devahuti desires to have children. Kadamba then creates a mystic airplane complete with palaces, lakes and gardens, and he enjoys with her as they fly to all the planets of the universe. Chapter 24. After the birth of his son Kapila, an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, Kadamba leaves home with the understanding that Kapila will take care of Devahuti. Chapter 25. When Devahuti requests Kapila to deliver her from her great fear of material existence, Kapila explains Sankhya Yoga, which begins by transferring one's attachments from matter to the association of pure devotees. One can quickly advance on the path from Shraddha to Prema by attentively hearing and discussing the Lord's activities. Devoutly thinking of the Lord's names, his charming form, and his qualities and pastimes, one achieves his association in this life. Chapter 26. Kapila describes the Purusha, the Supreme Person, and his Prakriti, the material nature. The Lord impregnates the living entities into material nature simply by his glance. Mother Nature then produces varieties of children in all species of life. Chapter 27. Kapila describes how by performing devotional service with detachment, one becomes liberated from the control of the material modes even while embodied. Thus, one revives his natural affection for God and goes back to Godhead at the end of life. Chapter 28. In the Astanga Yoga process, the yogi meditates on the form of the Lord in his heart, beginning with the Lord's lotus feet. Lord Vishnu's feet shatter the mountain of sin within the heart. Chapter 29. Lord Kapila describes pure devotional service which spontaneously flows out of attraction for the Lord. A pure devotee sees the supersoul in the hearts of all, and thus worships not only the Lord in the temple, but all living entities by treating them with compassion, friendship, and respect. Chapter 30. Persons who neglect the Lord and do not serve him or follow his path to the spiritual world must travel the path to Yamaraj's hell after death. Being bitten by dogs and burned by fire on the way, they finally reach the destination where all the sinful are punished. Chapter 31. After suffering in hell, a sinful person is reborn as a human being in some mother's womb. In this painful condition, being bitten by worms and scorched by the heat of the mother's digestion, if a living entity is fortunate, he prays to the Lord for deliverance. Chapter 32. Those who lead pious lives perform sacrifices to please the demigods and thus attain the heavenly planets. But they fall down to earth when their pious results are exhausted. Chapter 33. Devahuti glorifies the process of Sankirtan Yajna, which gives liberation in this life and eternal residence in the Lord's abode after death. The concluding verse for Canto 3, Chapter 33 is: the description of the dealings of Kapila Dev and his mother is very confidential, and anyone who hears or reads this narration becomes a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is carried by Garuda, and he thereafter enters into the abode of the Supreme Lord to engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Next, we begin Canto 4. Namaste.